Zambia will now be required to pay a $15,000 deposit just to obtain a tourist or business visa to visit the US. They call it a pilot program. I call it legalized discrimination. According to the US State Department, this is supposed to be a 12-month trial aimed at curbing visa overstay situations where visitors don't leave when their visas expire. And figures actually show that about 14% of Malawians and 11% of Zambians have overstayed visas in the past, and that is the reason. But here's what's even more outrageous. The US admits that more countries may soon face the same deposit rule. And let's pause here and talk about this so-called bond, right? $15,000 is not a visa fee. It is not a refundable deposit that you can casually put on the table. For the majority of the Malawians and Zambians, that amount is more than a year's salary. In fact, for millions of families, it's several years' worth of income. So what the US has done is effectively ban poor and middle class Africans from visiting, and only the wealthy elite, those with connections, those with resources, they will be able to pay. And isn't that the pattern, family? I mean, the West always creates rules that keep everyday Africans out while welcoming the African elite and the corrupt politicians and the business people who can't afford the price. And I want us to also understand this move in the context of Trump's wider strategy, right? This is the same Trump who banned nationals from 12 countries and restricted travel from 7 more, and openly declared war on migrants. He has revoked visas from international students, detained them on campuses without warning, and actually targeted individuals who dare speak out in support of Palestine. This is not about visas overstays. This is about weaponizing immigration against Africans and anyone who challenges American power. And notice, when Europeans overstay their visas, when Canadians and Australians overstay, there is no $15,000 bond. There is no mass deportations. Why? Because this policy is not about overstay. This is about race and geopolitics. I mean, let's call it what it is, neocolonialism. Colonial powers once restricted African movements to control labor, to control resources and freedom. So today, the US uses visas and deposits as the new change. It's the same principle, if you ask me. Who gets to move, who gets to travel, and who gets to live with dignity. And the West always finds a way to keep Africa in a box. They want our minerals, our labor, our votes at the UN, but they do not want our people in the countries, unless it is on their own terms. Now, what should Malawi and Zambia do? What should we as Africans do, right? I say that we cannot beg America for dignity. We cannot plead for fair treatment. That era is over. Instead, we must build Africa into a continent so strong and so united and so prosperous that our people no longer need to beg for visas to go abroad. We must demand reciprocity. If America wants to impose $15,000 bond, then let Malawi and Zambia impose $20,000 bond on American citizens entering their borders. Enough of this one-sided respect. This is not just about a visa. This is a test. Will Africans once again attempt humiliation quietly, or will we stand up and say enough is enough? The West only respects strength, and that's the truth. It will never respect weakness. It is time to build a pan-African response, and not just as countries, but as a united people. If we fail, then our children will inherit a passport that is nothing but a curse. But if we rise, then our children will inherit the Africa that Lumumba, that Sankara, that Biko dreamed of, which is an African that commands respect and not just pays a ransom just to visit foreign lands. Now, I'm Naledi Mfoloe, reporting for ADNC. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this, and while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me till we meet again. It is bye-bye for now.